APEC motorcades drill run in Port Moresby.
It's Madang Resort!
New Miss PIP crowned. And Rego District closes cultural show in style.
This is National EMTV News with Godwin Aki.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for Sunday's news. The Papua New Guinea Defence Force has established a military agreement with the Indonesian Army to assist with APEC security along the PNG-Indonesian border. Third in charge of PNGDF, Colonel Siale Diro says Indonesian soldiers will be patrolling the land border from the Indonesian side.
The security operation that will be executed in Port Moresby during the APEC Leaders Week is headed by the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. And it is supported by the Papua New Guinea Defence Force and over 20 law enforcing agencies in the country. However, the PNGDF will maintain their sovereignty patrols along the PNG-Indonesian border, which stretches from Vanimo to the north and Daru to the south. As part of this arrangement, the Indonesian Army will conduct their patrols on their side of the border, while the PNGDF will do this on the PNG side.
They are deploying 6 battalions along the border, along their side, to ensure that also they are providing surveillance and maritime assistance on their sides of the border as well, to help us completely dominate both the land, maritime and air domains.
The engagement by the Indonesian soldiers and all military partners, including Australia, New Zealand, China and the US towards APEC security, has been welcomed and acknowledged by the PNG Defence Force. In fact, the hosting of the 2018 APEC Leaders Summit has seen a massive donation of vehicles, building of infrastructure and numerous specialized trainings given to members of PNG's 3 disciplinary forces. Meanwhile, the Royal Australian Navy ship HMAS Adelaide arrived in Port Moresby yesterday to support maritime police for civilians patrols. These patrols will be conducted in partnership with the PNGDF Sea Element. Their areas of survey will include the Fairfax Harbour and the APEC House, the venues where the main Leaders Summit will be held. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News.
With the theme Dress for Progress, Miss Pacific Islands Pageant PNG crowned its new Miss PNG Pacific Islands Pageant for 2018 and 2019 last night at the Hilton Hotel in Port Moresby. The winner, Leoshina Kariha, representing Madang Resort, will represent PNG at this year's Miss Pacific Islands Pageant in Nuku'alofa, Samoa.
Judged by national and international judges, all 5 contestants of the Miss Pacific Islands Pageant PNG had to showcase sarongwe, a talent that they are good at, and the judging of the traditionally designed outfit. One by one, the contestants entered the stage first with sarongwe. The next event on the night was the showcasing of individual talents, where the contestants danced and did what they are capable of doing. To keep the crowd entertained was a Fijian dance choreographer and a local dance group from Central and Manus provinces. The final round of judging was the traditionally inspired outfits that were made by local designers and made from traditional bush materials that the contestants wore on the night. Category awards were also given to the contestants, with Miss Friendship and Best Sarongwe awarded to Miss Madang Resort, Miss Photogenic and Committee's Choice Award to Miss Queen Emma, Best Talent to Miss ITI, Best Traditionally Inspired Dressing to Miss Madang Resort, and Best Topic and People's Choice Award to Miss Sanctuary and Rapopo Resort, while the Patrons Award went to Miss PWIB. Before the crowning, it was time to hear from the former Miss PNG, Niawali Twine.
It is with so much honor, gratitude and love I stand here before each and every one of you for the last time as Miss Pacific Islands Papua New Guinea 2017-2018. Yet, for the first time, to soon welcome our newly crowned Miss Pacific Islands for 2018-2019.
Miss Madang Resort!
Thank you for supporting the cause of women who need to be educated at tertiary education level. And thank you for the blessing of this prestigious role.
As crowned Miss PNG 2018 and 2019, Leoshina will represent PNG at this year's Miss Pacific Islands Pageant in Nuku'alofa, Samoa.
The Halimbu to Como section of the Highlands Highway underwent bitumen sealing this week. The project is delivered via a 3-year partnership with ExxonMobil PNG Limited under a 150 million kina infrastructure tax credit arrangement. This project is in line with the government's priority to seal from Mendi to Tari, Como and Copiago on a long-term program-based arrangement. Contractors have spent the last 12 months constructing and rebuilding sections of the road pavement and drainage systems to allow for the permanent seal to be placed. Improving Hela Province's infrastructure is an important priority for the government, and this program is a great opportunity to deliver some significant benefits to the local people. Officers from the PNG Immigrations and Border Authority and PNG Customs who graduated as police reservists on Wednesday were challenged to perform their task with pride and dignity. PNG Customs Chief Commissioner Ray Paul told the 24 police reservists that they must continue to uphold what they have learned and put into practice.
24 senior officers from the PNG Customs and PNG Immigrations and Border Authority passed out as reserve police officers on Wednesday. In a small graduation parade at the Laguna Hotel, PNG Chief Customs Commissioner Ray Paul said it is the first time they have police officers in their organization, and he urged the officers that the token given to them as police reservists must be held in high dignity.
And so my call and challenge to all of you that are in front of me, that I'm receiving you today from Customs and Immigration, that you are here. Continue to uphold what you've learned and put it into best practice at all times. The family will be looking after you, your families, your fellow officers will be looking after you, up to you. The community will be looking up to you. And shall you compromise it, it will be a total disgrace.
The Police Commissioner Gary Bucky, after reading out the instruments of appointment under the Police Force Act, urged the members to serve the people responsibly. He said there have been reports of police behavior such as police brutality, and if they abuse their powers as police officers, they will have no place in the RPNGC.
You wear the uniform with pride, you perform your role as a police officer. I know under the Immigration Act and under the Customs Act, there are also powers that allows you to detain people. You can exercise those powers. But when it comes to criminal responsibility, your responsibility as a police officer takes precedence over all other responsibilities, and you have to perform that.
The 24 reserve police officers went through 6 weeks of training, both in theory of the role of police force and understand the powers of arrest. The officers will continue to serve in their respective organizations and will also have the power to do police work required of them as police officers. Rayon Lakingu, National EMTV News.
Over 200 police personnel were involved in a motorcade drill on how they will be escorting the 21 world leaders when they arrive in Port Moresby for the APEC Leaders Summit this month. The motorcade involved police motorcycles, escort vehicles and those engaged on close personal protection details. This is the first drill conducted to test how these police officers can escort world leaders from meeting venues to their accommodation sites while controlling traffic on the other.
The drill conducted in Port Moresby this morning is a practice of what police officers will be doing upon the arrival of the APEC delegates and the 21 world leaders. Starting at the Rita Flynn Netball Courts, the motorcade was conducted between Jackson's International Airport and meeting venues, including the route to the APEC House. Last Thursday, deputy commanders of the Joint Security Task Force team, both from the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary and the Papua New Guinea Defence Force, announced that close to 4,000 security personnel will be engaged in this security operation. While the police will be leading the operation, the PNG Defence Force will stand ready to assist if there is a riot, terrorism threat or vandalism. The drill this morning was attended by Commander of JSTF and Police Commissioner Gary Baki and officers supervising various sections in the APEC Security. A similar dry run will be conducted this coming Wednesday. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
You're with National EMTV News. We go for our first break now, but stay tuned. We'll have more of the day's other stories when we come back. Welcome back to National EMTV News. The people of Rego District in Central Province rounded up their cultural festival in style yesterday. The three-day event, which began on Thursday, attracted hundreds of people from all parts of Rego. It is the first of its kind in the district since the last festival was held 44 years ago.
The festival showcased a wide range of cultural performances from the different villages in the district, including traditional dances, live performances, and singing. More than 50 stalls were set up showcasing arts and craft, garden produce and other traditional materials. Member for Rego District, Leko Wure says the culture show is hosted to revive the culture and strengthen relationship amongst the people of Rego.
The significance of this Rego Cultural Show is it's for us to revive our cultures and traditions, because as we know, our cultures and traditions and the associated languages are very important because they define us as Papua New Guineans, and they really set us apart as a unique sort of people on the face of this earth. So that's the importance of this of the event.
Corporate bodies and organizations were part of the event, which they used to showcase their products. Ure says the event is part of the 5-year DSIP and 200,000 kino was allocated to successfully host the festival.
Because it's part of our 5-year development plan, we did allocate some DSI funding to this event. So for the record, according to our 5-year development plan, we allocated 200,000 kina to host this event. And as you can see, there's lots of things to do. So that money might not have been possible. The hosting of the show would have been a little bit difficult if we do not get the support from the provincial government, which contributed to 20,000 kina, as well as some of the corporate sponsors.
The festival is going to be a biannual show starting next. Ure says he is planning a bigger show in the coming years, which will likely attract people from outside the district as well as tourists to witness and experience the culture of Rego. Suli, National EMTV News.
The Mendi Munihu District Development Authority in Southern Highlands has launched a number of projects and made presentations last Friday to mark the start of a new journey towards a brighter future for the district. The project includes upgrading and sealing of roads, fencing of the Magani Police Barracks and the Mendi National Broadcasting Corporation, the extension of the Mendi Airport runway for another 160 meters, and upgrading of the facilities of the Mendi Airport Terminal. According to Mendi Munihu MP Michael Nali, these projects were funded through the 5 million kina received from the district's DSIP funds.
Among some donations by the local MP were medical equipment at the cost of 1.7 million kina and 2 new ambulances at the cost of 185,000 kina each. Mr. Nali also presented tougher thanks to people affected by the February earthquake. He said from the 10 million kina DSIP funds, the district received 5 million kina, from which 3 million kina is already used in starting projects and 2 million kina was still in the district account. For the road ceiling, he said it was a collaborative effort from the DDA and the Works Department.
How Mibla 11 DDA utilizing the money? This line of costing one people money and existing road, but Mibla DDA put him some money. Provincial government put him some lily money, and then Department of Works too have been on the some lily money. So planning money to us. We put together something like 3 or 4 million kina, and we've upgraded some of our little. Also, fetching more photos like I know some. We are really going back to the basics.
Mr. Nali stressed the importance of using the DSIP funds wisely, which he said would bring about significant change. The DDA has spent a total of 1.7 million kina this year to subsidize school fees for students in his electorate. He said it was vital for local MPs to make their presence known in the districts.
Almost I got like an opportunity where one leader let me come looking more long street side or current some daily development.
He appealed to his people to take ownership of the projects and put them to good use. Charlene Eri, National EMTV News.
62 West Papuans residing in Vanimo in the West Pacific Province were awarded Papua New Guinean citizenship. The awarding of the citizenship to former West Papuans who are now PNG citizens brings the total to 1,352 since the PNG Immigration and Citizenship Authorities started the process and registering of citizenship for West Papuans since 2017. A high school principal, William Broba, and his wife were amongst the recipients. The start of processing as West Papuans and Papua New Guinean citizens only began last year but has already registered over 1,350 people. Stay with us. National EMTV News continues after the break with overseas stories. Welcome back to the news. Now, before we continue, we are going to cross to Helen Seah, who is at the Cosmopolitan for the grand final of Vocal Fusion Season 6. Good evening, Helen. It is Vocal Fusion grand final night. Now, tell us what's happening over there at Cosmo.
Yes, Godwin, I'm here at the Vision City Mega Mall, not far from the Cosmopolitan where the show is happening. This is the prize tonight. One of the grand finalists will be walking away with this. It's a Ford Ranger single cab, 2.2-litre diesel engine, power sliding air conditioning. Now, what's going to happen is at the end of the show, MTV's head of sales, Tasman Samuel, and the CEO, Sheena Hughes, will be giving away the keys to tonight's grand finalists. So really, this is, who wouldn't want this vehicle? I want it, so it's going to be fun. I wonder who's going to win. All the best to the finalists, and to everyone out there, enjoy the show.
Thanks, Helen. Now, turning overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump will be in Georgia and Tennessee on Sunday to trump up Republican support ahead of Tuesday's U.S. midterm elections. The outcome will be widely seen as a referendum on his presidency. All signs point to record turnout as of Friday. More than 27,000 Americans had cast polls in early voting. And at a rally on Saturday in Florida, the president sounded a familiar theme on immigration that designates with his base.
When you look at that caravan, and I'm good at building, when you look at that caravan coming up, that's not what we want. That's not for us, folks. Not for us. And we want people to come through our strong borders, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in absolutely through a process, and they have to come in through merit.
The Democrats' names have been dispatched to get more people to the polls. Former Vice President Barack Obama swung through the southern U.S. on Friday, while former Vice President, Joe Biden slammed Donald Trump for what some called his lack of truthful statements.
Did you hear him trying to explain honesty? No. I'm not joking. He was on the air saying, well, honesty is, maybe they're trying to convince us that honesty is relative, depending on where you stand. Truth is truth. Truth is truth. Honesty is honesty.
Chinese police say a fight between a bus driver and a passenger caused the bus to plunge off the bridge, killing everyone on board. Police say a 48-year-old woman started hitting the driver with her cell phone after she missed her stop. He fought back before swerving into overcoming traffic and going over the railings. 13 bodies have been retrieved from the river and 2 others remain missing. No one is believed to have survived.
Police say a 48-year-old woman started hitting the driver with her cell phone after she missed her stop. He fought back before swerving into oncoming traffic and going over the railings. 13 bodies have been retrieved from the river and 2 others remain missing. No one is believed to have survived.
And Trukai Sports is up next. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. A team of disabled footballers were treated to a once-in-a-lifetime experience playing with 2 international coaches. The Tottenham Hotspur development coaches were touring New Zealand as part of a healthy school program.
These kids don't let their disabilities get in the way of the sport they love. They couldn't hide their excitement when these coaches came to give them some tips.
Yes, people are coming from England. I was a bit nervous. Super excited.
Anton Blackwood and Sean Harris work with players of all levels around the world.
And just share, some of our knowledge and our experiences with the kids and just to essentially allow them to have a good time.
Some are a little shy at first, but those at the Papatoetoe United Football Club couldn't keep the smiles off their faces.
The kids have been incredible, and there's a little lady in the session that we call her Giggles because she's just laughing and giggling at everything.
He's talking about 8-year-old Sophie Bold, who has cerebral palsy.
If you play soccer, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
Sophie's mum says the adapted football program allows these kids to feel like part of a team.
So there are lots of other kids around who have similar disabilities, and they can all get in and play and enjoy spending time together.
10-year-old Destiny is loving every moment of it.
It's really fun because sometimes when new people come, I make new friends.
The coaches will be in New Zealand for another week, and Destiny has one important message for anybody wanting to play football.
Don't be nervous and give everything a go.
Alexandra Nelson, News Hub.
And Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To Rugby PNG Kumul Centre, Nene MacDonald was assaulted at the nightclub after the Kumuls versus England Knights game in Port Moresby, in which the Kumuls won 30-22. The rugby player took to social media on his personal account expressing his disappointment on the incident. He posted on his Facebook account stating he will never wear the Kumuls jumper again unless the perpetrator is brought to justice. On a more positive note, Kumuls captain David Mead was humbled and very emotional after the win on Saturday. The Kumuls skipper and his countrymen were joined by England Knights players and staff after the match to celebrate Mead's 30th birthday and his 10th years as a kumu. Perhaps what's more fitting, Mead's wife and child made a surprise show-up to celebrate the occasion. And that's it for Trukai Sports. Stay tuned for weather details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And now to the weather forecast. In the southern region, mostly fine for Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, Alatau and Popondetta are looking fine. And in the Mumase region, Lei, shower or two, Wau showers, Madang showers as well, Wewak and Vanimo also showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau showers, maximum at 31 and minimum 24. Kavieng showers at 31. Shower or two for Kokopo and Rabaul, also maximum 31. Kimbe shower or two, also maximum at 31, as well as Buka shower or two with 32. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen and Goroka looking cloudy, 25 max for Hagen and max 27 for Goroka. Kundiawa cloudy, maximum 27. Mandy cloudy. Wabeg as well cloudy with 24 each.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
Season 3 of the Sprite I Cup competition was held yesterday in the National Capital District. Young men and women brought their talents to the stage. This included dancing, street art or painting, beatboxing and rapping. Sprite I Cup is a platform used to expose talented young men and women who are gifted and good at what they like and love doing.
Talented young men and women kept the crowd captivated and wanting to see more as the competitors danced, rapped and danced to beatboxing. 4 categories of entertainment and displays of talents included spray painting, dancing, rapping and beatboxing. Sprite I Cup is a platform used to bring together talented youths who are passionate and creative to give them the opportunity to expose their talents. As part of their duties as ambassadors, they visit schools and communities to identify young men and women with raw talents.
And before we go, we check in again with Helen Sea. We're here, she has caught up with guest judge.
Yes, Godwin, I'm here with Jay Williams, New Zealand R&B platinum recording artist and hip-hop choreographer. Let's go have a chat. So, Jay, what are you expecting from the contestants on tonight's show?
Yeah, so what I'm expecting from these contestants is for them to bring their A game. I know what's on the line. I know their nerves will play a big part in their performance. But if they really want it, they got to work hard for it. They got to focus. They got to be in the right state of mind. And just make sure, just remember their purpose, why they're here, what they're doing it for before they hit the stage. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, so good luck to all the contestants.
Thanks, Jay. So tonight's show is expected to be full of surprises. One for who's going home, who's going to win, and in between there's going to be several guest acts. But Jay will be performing at the end of the show, right?
Yes. So I'll be performing a solo act featuring the top 4 and 04 in the halftime show. And then at the end of the show, me and my sister will be performing a special song for everybody. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
So that's going to be quite exciting. If you want to catch that, stay tuned after the news and catch Vocal Fusion right after this.
Thank you for that, Helen. And that's the news, sports and weather for tonight. On behalf of the entire MTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.